Today, we're with a musician who is not only an opera singer, but also a cantor. She has been working with Frank Wildhorn and actually worked with some people that I know. I'm talking Sharon Azreli. Sharon, hi.
Hi,
So you,
Suzanne.
hi, you studied with Bill Schumann.
I just had a lesson with him today,
Oh,
actually.
did you? Yeah,
Yeah.
he taught Celine Dion, but also my really good friend April Mignot.
Okay. Nice to meet
So
you, Susanna.
nice to meet you. How did you get involved with Frank Wildhorn?
Oh my goodness, what a long story. Um, through a person that we both knew. Let's just leave it at that. Through a person that we both knew. But I adore Frank, and in fact, I was just talking to him today, and I'm going to be making a second album with him.
Now tell us about the first album.
The first album, I have it right here.
Oh,
Frank,
perfect.
Frankly, Sharon, and that's me on a Vespa.
Cool.
Yeah,
You're
and
you're in Paris.
yeah. Well, it's meant to look like Paris. Actually, it is Paris. Yes, it is. There's the Eiffel Tower, but it's it's just a picture. It wasn't really there. And um, yeah, I translated 9 of his songs that had never been translated into French, 2 into Italian, and 1 into Hebrew. And yeah, it was wonderful. And we worked together, side by side on all of the songs. And basically, he taught me how to sing, in his technique in pop because my background was opera and I'd been singing opera for 25 years. And then after that, I became a cantor. And then so slowly, slowly, I came into the world of Broadway and of pop.
Now, all the songs are in other languages.
And all the songs were in other languages. No, 2. Hold on, just a second. I'm going to tell you. Um, Anything Can Happen and Living in the Shadows. We decided to keep in English because they're just perfect, in English. So we kept them in English.
Are there songs that we don't know of his that are on this album?
So that's a really good question because, I think that people who love Frank's work probably know all these songs. Um, but I think that they're different. I think that they're different when you hear them in French and when you hear them in Italian. And I think that there are 2 that are in Italian that are from a new show of his. So, for example, Dream and Awaken, and the other one, which is in. No, Dream and Awaken, and the one, hold on, that's a hard question, Susanna.
Sorry.
Dream and Awaken is from a new show that I think he just did about a saint, like I think it's called Beatrice or something. And so I think that that's a new show. I should know that. I can look it up in my notes. You want me?
No, it's okay. I'll look it up and it'll be on the site.
Is this going to be a Zoom interview or is it going to
It's a
be?
Zoom interview. You're
Okay,
on it now.
okay, sorry.
No, I like my interviews to be very real. You're going to see my cat Hamlet walk
Yeah,
through
no, I saw. He's so cute.
it. In the new album, what songs will be in it? And will it also be international?
Yes, so in the new album, what we decided, because I'm looking at Magda here, and I'm not used to having a Magda in the interview, so it's cool. Hi Magda. So, in the new album, we decided to add some Spanish, and so that's really cool. And we decided to give it like a much more because what we had the most fun with, and frankly, Sharon, were the dance numbers.
Mm.
And in fact, one of the numbers was made famous in Czech by this woman who had been doing this show for 14 years in Czech, and then we put it into French.
Wow.
And so we decided to do a few numbers in Spanish, which isn't on the first album. So we're going to do Spanish and French. And that's what's going to be different about the second album. And in fact,
I
that's what's taking so long because my Spanish is not as good as my French and my Italian. So it's taking me longer to translate into Spanish because it's hard.
Why not an album in English?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, just because I like a challenge. I don't know.
Yeah, but what about your listeners? Like, I personally, Magda loves songs in other languages. Me, I want them in American.
In America, okay. I'll tell Frank. I'll tell Frank.
If you tell him it's me, he'll know. I
Okay.
actually started off singing opera, but
Oh, did you?
yeah, I sang with San Francisco Opera for a little bit. I was in the Young Artist program,
Oh,
but
wow.
I
What voice did you have?
I have a really high lyric soprano.
Wow, me too. I started out as a high lyric soprano.
Now I'm older, it's gone lower.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what
but
happened to me too.
I honestly quit opera because seriously, I am horrible at languages. Horrible.
Yeah, it's
So
important.
the American operas I was really good at. The Medium, the Ballad of the Baby Doe, but when
Yeah.
it came to Faust, I wanted to chop my head off
Okay.
because
Okay.
I could not. I'm seriously horrible at languages.
Wow.
I'm barely good at English, and people will tell you that I have my own language. Um, what excites you most about music?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. What excites me most about music or what excites me most about singing?
Oh,
So, what excites me most about music or about like Broadway or about opera or about the art of music is the expression, right? The ability to get people moved, right? The ability to get people crying or laughing or dancing or feeling, right? To the ability to get people happy, right? I think the ability to get people feeling, right? That's
right.
the most important thing. And and now as I get older, the ability to help kids, let's say, what I think is the most important thing is to teach kids and to get kids like there's all these programs that I'm find myself interested in to get kids off of the street, to teach kids music. This is the thing that I want to move into and help. What, if I remember your question, I hope I remember your question. um, what was your question? What
What
excited me
excites you most about singing?
about singing? Yeah, what excited me most about singing, especially opera, what I loved about it was that I loved languages and I loved the complete art of it. I loved the language, the music, the words, the rhythm, that, having to get everything together in a package, and get up on the stage and do everything at once, and then the zen, when you're up there with the orchestra and you're doing so much at one time that you can't think about anything else. You just have to be there in the moment. I tell everybody it's the same as being a figure skater. You know, the audience knows whether or not you're going to do that triple axel, and complete it. Especially in opera, I know you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Because in opera, the people out there that are watching, they actually know if you sang that high C and if you held it long enough, like in figure skating. But and in Broadway and in jazz especially, you have a little bit more leeway.
Leeway.
But in
I like the
opera,
leeway
right? But in opera, you don't. You have to hold that high C
on
or that high, right?
that regiment. Um, you talked about helping kids, and I know that you do a lot of charitable work and foundation work. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So, well, I started this wonderful prize, which isn't really about helping kids yet, but it's about helping composers to compose. That we have these prizes in Canada, which are actually international. Anybody can apply to them. They're for composers. Two of them are for compositions of Jewish music, which is very interesting. If you go on the Azrieli Foundation network, sorry, Foundation org website, then you can see what the rules are to apply. I don't want to go into it because it's too complicated. Um, but it's very interesting, and there actually are rules like what is Jewish music, which is how come it started. Because I thought because of my cantorial work, that it's something that I actually understood, and then we branched into what is Canadian music, which nobody understands. So I thought that was really fascinating. And this year, we're coming up with a fourth prize, which is international music. And I thought, and this is going to be the last prize, but like, for example, Ukrainian or, anybody from anywhere can apply. Anybody who has, connection with where they're from, Ukraine or Serbia. I don't care where you're from and you feel, or Japan or anywhere you're from, and you feel a connection to that place and you want to write music from where you're from, write a composition about that place that it
Mm.
tells us that music from that place. So that's what those compositions are about. And then we also are very much about helping education, emerging artists, and educating kids. So in Venezuela, there was a program I'm sure you've heard about called El Sistema.
Oh yeah.
And so we tried to do that whole program in Canada, and we're succeeding. There's a program of El Sistema that was started actually in New Brunswick, and I'd love to do that, in United States as well, anywhere that I can that helps kids and education. I just did a tour in South America actually with
Yes,
orchestra.
I heard.
It was amazing. That's where these earrings are from. Aren't they great?
They are.
I got them in
They
Colombia.
match your glasses.
Yeah. Matchy matchy. And you know, it's really heartbreaking when you see kids that are, in poverty, and anything that you can do to help. And if you can use music,
Mm.
that would be ideal, right?
Okay, this is my favorite question to ask. They say that eyes are the windows to the soul, but I believe that songs are.
Oh,
What song or series of songs says who Sharon is?
oh my God, what a great question, Susanna.
It's because I want my audiences to know who I'm interviewing. And this question should change for me minutes to minutes, but I think that it tells a lot about a person. So
What
that's the
what
question.
series of questions would tell your viewers who Sharon is?
Yes. But I think by relating you to a song or series of songs allows people to know you in a different way.
Wow, does it have to be something that I've recorded, or could it
Nope.
be?
No, it can be anything. Like right now, my song would be Getting There from In Transit.
Oh, isn't that interesting? That was a nice show. I like that show. Yeah, yeah.
Love that song.
I actually helped. I was one of the small producers in that show. I put a little bit of money in that show.
Oh, I love that song.
Um,
I just listened to it actually.
yeah, yeah. So, wow, that's great. I just made a lullabies album because I just became, my son married very young, and he just had a baby very young. And isn't that funny? I just made a lullabies album. And one of my favorite songs on the album is House at Pooh Corner. I don't know if you're gonna.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Loggins
from
on Messina, right?
Loggins and Messina. Yeah. And so I don't know, that's my favorite song.
No, I love that song. I actually saw that song in concert when I was like 16.
So
Um,
I put on this album all my favorite songs that I used to sing to my kids when they were little. And that song, I sing that to my little grandson when I give him a bath. And and I make all the noises. So I don't know, does that tell you who Sharon is?
yeah, I think it does. Um, if you had to choose a show or a genre of what you would like to do that you haven't done yet, what
Oh,
would
I
it
know
be?
exactly which one. You ready?
Mhm.
I am dying to do. Now that's so we were just at House of Blue Corner, okay? Now we're going all the way over to the dark side. I'm dying to do Sweeney Todd.
Oh, I just watched Audra McDonald and Michael Cerveris
Ooh,
do a song from, oh no, it was from Sunday in the Park. Sorry, wrong
oh,
show.
very different, very different. I
Very
want to play
different.
Mrs. Lovett. I want to do
Oh,
Have a Little Priest.
oh, I love that show. I seriously love that show. They're doing a production of it actually. Josh Groban's going to be playing Todd.
You're kidding me.
It's coming to Broadway, yeah.
When?
Next year, I think.
Oh my God.
I just wrote about, oh, this is coming. Jeffrey Sellers is the producer.
Oh my goodness, would I love to be that understudy? Who's playing Mrs. Lovett?
They haven't named it yet. They only named Josh Groban.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wait, yes, they did. It's Annalie Ashford.
Oh wow.
But you know what? You could play the Beggar Woman, which is a great role.
I could. I actually could. I could sing that in a heartbeat. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what would you like our audience to know about you that I haven't asked you?
Oh dear. I would like them to know that you're never too old and it's never too late and never give up. How about
I love that. My cat is decided he normally doesn't show up.
he's been there the whole
Oh
time?
yeah, I know he's running all over God's head finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, don't know why, but he is.
Because I'm the baby whisperer. So
um, where can we see you next?
So I'm hoping to come to New York in the spring because my dear, dear friend Warren Carlisle and I are going to be working
Oh,
on a little show.
what are you working on? I love Warren.
He's the best. I
He
just
was my first interview.
Oh, you're kidding me. I'm
Ask him. Ask him about when he showed me his reel. He
Okay.
the very first time we met, he showed me his reel,
I
and I
love
burst into tears.
You're kidding.
No, because when I see something beautiful or wonderful, I cry.
Oh,
And he totally got me.
oh,
So, and we've been friends ever since.
oh,
Love him.
I love him so. I love him so. So he said he would help me and he said he would do a choreography for me. I just did a Michel Legrand album.
Oh, that's
And
Magnus
so
out.
that's out on Amazon or on all of the streaming platforms. And so he's going to help me choreograph it. And we're going to do probably 54 Below. I'm not sure yet where. And I'll let you know. And
Please let me know and let Magda know because that music is really up her alley.
okay, I will. Thank you.
Um, where are you going to be? Are you going to be performing? Where are you performing before you come here?
Oh, so I have a huge show in Montreal in October, which is classical music. It's new music, classical. And oh, I do the Michel Legrand with orchestra, but that's also in Montreal. And then I'm in Israel in November. Um, but I have a website, so you can look me up, www.sharonazrieli.com.
I've been.
You have?
I
Oh,
do.
oh,
Whenever I'm going to interview somebody, I really want to know who, what, when. That's how I found out that you studied with Bill. I know.
oh.
Um,
It's not
I
very
always
good. I
want to.
have to update it. I
I
know,
always want to know who my subject is, so I know what to ask.
right,
And for some reason, my subjects are always stunned that I find what I find, but I wasn't trying. I wanted to be informed.
right.
Um, I really love talking to you. I hope
Um,
that you will come back and be a guest when you're doing something closer.
Anytime. Well, hopefully before I come to New York, eh?
When's the second Frank album coming out?
So Frank moved to Hawaii.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, because of COVID and because his beautiful wife, is so much in Japan and
Right.
because he's opening all these shows in Japan and Korea and all that. So I had to go to Hawaii to plan the second album with him, which
Oh,
was terrible. Oh no.
horrible.
So we'll have to, we're probably will have to go and record it in Hawaii. That
Oh
would be
wow.
That'll be awful, eh?
Do you have a time frame of that?
It's hard to reach. It's hard to reach him. So it's partly my fault because I have to translate them.
Mm.
And it's, but everything has to be,
You want it
everything.
the way you want it. It's music.
So it has to be this year though, because we have to do it, you know? It's like you have to do these things. Otherwise they don't get done.
And the album that you have now, frankly,
Yes,
um,
frankly, Sharon. And then
yes.
I have I didn't bring the Michel Legrand to show you, but
Oh,
please look at the
you
Michel.
have an album of Michel Legrand.
Yeah, yeah, it just came out. It just came out in March.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's a wonderful album. I'm really, really proud of it. And that's with Tamir Hendelman. I did that in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, that was in the heart of COVID.
Well, I
Yeah.
look forward to talking to you again. Thank you for very much for being our
So
guest.
nice to meet you. Thank you, Magda.
Thank you.